nice-sized swarm today. I got a text message from an old lady, and she was kind of distressed about them being in her yard. They usually spray a few times a year. They do not like any insects, let alone honeybees. So if it's left here, they will probably spray it and kill the swarm. Now, if that's how they want to believe things are, that's great for them. The fact of the matter is that we cannot live without honeybees. They pollinate about 75% of all the food that we eat. And they're in Missouri, where we are, there are no native bees. All the bees are either from apiaries or they're feral swarms like this, and a lot of them don't last through the winter time. So we're gonna actually save this swarm here. We're gonna get it off their property so they don't have any problems with it, and we're gonna give it a safe home and get some honey from it and have them pollinating more food for us. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hold this, and I'm gonna have my supervisor Kelsey clip it, and we're just gonna carry it off their property so they don't have to deal with it anymore. And then we won't have to leave it in their yard overnight to make sure. We're just gonna carry it to a distant property line. Okay, so I'm gonna clip right here. We have the branch cut, and the branch, I'm gonna walk away with it. We're gonna get off of their property. If you come in here and look right here, I'll turn where you can see in the sunlight. You'll see bees holding on right by my finger. And it's almost like they're doing pull-ups, but everybody's holding on and they're connected. So right now it's getting windy. We're gonna walk them over here off the property to save them. And right on the borderline of the property, we have a hive set up. And this is an 8-frame hive. We're actually going to put a flow hive on top of this. A buddy of mine, Antonio's going to get it today. So we got the clean cut on the swarm, a clean cut on the branch. We moved the swarm off of the property where the owners were hostile to the bees. So we're going to save these bees, get them where they're not feeling harassed by the bees, which is not so much the case, not unless you harass them. We're going to save these bees because honeybees pollinate about 75% of all the food we eat. In Missouri, where we are, there are no native bees, so all the bees in the wild are feral swarms from apiaries, or beekeepers are keeping bees, and that's how we're pollinating our crops and our food that we eat. And it's not just our crops. If you think you're just a carnivore, much of the animals' food that they eat needs to be pollinated by honeybees also. And honeybees, there are other pollinators, but honeybees are the workhorse. They are the best pollinators by far out of all animals, and they are the only insect that produce food for humans with honey, royal jelly, and pollen. And porpoise, because their glue, that porpoise is what they use for glue, has antibacterial elements to it. So I'm just going to take this and set in this hive. And I'm actually going to get the trimmers to cut it off so we can drop it in there. We saved this swarm. They were in a hostile property where the owners were about to execute them. We moved them into
a hive off their property and then we'll move it later. We just didn't want to leave a hive on their property because they were not very happy about a swarm being in their yard. So we got them in the box and got them in their beehive. They're going to start a new colony and we're going to have another great hive from this swarm that we caught. I'm Michael Severa. This is Challenges Farm. Don't forget to subscribe, hit a like, and if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comments and we'll answer those, or you can message us. Thanks.